Hi guys, welcome back to Beamer Son Garage. And my son is doing chores, feeding dogs and watering dogs, and it's what he does every morning. That's what I used to do. He does it for me now, because I just physically can't do all that. Plus everything else I do. I made 7 videos yesterday for all you guys, and I hope you watched them and enjoyed them, because they hurt. Pain. One word, pain. It pains me to do some of the things I do for you guys. You know, you don't maybe see some of the stuff that happens in the background, but these cars just don't, maintain themselves. One's been sitting for a year or two. You're going to have to go out here and work on it a little bit to get it going again. And so the video on September 22nd, my birthday, that was one car that's been mothballed for 20 years, my 69 Mach 1 that I've been working on for the last 3, and got it back up and going, drove it on the channel out there. Another car was an Oldsmobile. It's been sitting for 2 years. We had to resurrect it and bring it back. That's a no-name kitten. And the other one was the 71 Oldsmobile that my son just gave to me for my birthday present. So last night, Rambo came over, and Rambo to the rescue again. He comes over and he figured out, and told me what I needed to do to get it out of the driveway. And I'm not going to, only a locksmith knows those secrets. And I'm not going to divulge his secret. He asked me not to, and I'm not. But he is an exquisite locksmith. His father was a locksmith. And this is Amelia Locksmith out of Amelia. Phone number is 513-752-5222. I didn't bring the card with me. I usually got my wallet with me where I could pull out these business card. So he came up here in the dark. I mean, it was practically pitch dark. And what he did was he pulled the ignition switch out of this car, the key and lock. The lock mechanism. He pulled this lock cylinder out of this car. Then he removed this cover, a couple of screws underneath, and then somehow he popped that lock out. And then he had it on the back of his Volkswagen Rabbit diesel he's got. It's like 45 miles to the gallon, he said. I believe him. He took the lock mechanism and pulled out all the tumblers and springs, and it looked like just a mess to me, right? But not to him. He has a method to his madness, I'd like to say. And he had this lock, and he took it all apart and found it had a bad spring in one of the tumbler holes, and the spring was, I guess, collapsed, so it wouldn't work anymore. And he took it all apart, filed down the slides in it, or some kind of slides or something in it, filed them down, cleaned them up, did something with that tumbler and spring. I think he did something special, a locksmith only knows to do, and he fixed it. So when he did put it back together, he lubed it all, and he put it all back together, and he said, the problem I have, Barry, or the problem you're having, Barry, is when you put your key with a whole bunch of keys, and it's the weight. So what I'm going to do from now on, I'm going to disconnect and have just one separate key. That was not very, very heavy. This is not real heavy as the other ring it was on was a big closet of keys. And I do that for a couple of reasons. Well, number one, those are the keys I use all the time. Number two, you can use it for a weapon. Never know. You might have to subdue a Walmart shooter, and smack them upside the head with those keys, and that's gonna, that's gonna leave a mark. And so, anyways, there it is. He fixed it, and I think I gave him $20, and it was worth every penny. Just for the, sake of knowing that you're going to go somewhere, shut it off, and then you're going to be able to restart and get out of there. That's, it's worth the $20 just for the, the sake of that. And my son was afraid to drive it anywhere because of that. He didn't want to get somewhere and get stuck. Like I got stuck in the driveway with it. So Rambo to the rescue. Don, we appreciate you, sir. I told you I was going to do a video about you, and there it is. Amelia Locksmith fixes another one. His first name is Don. We call him more affectionately known as Rambo. When I first met this gentleman, he was a great help. From the very first time I met him, I was in a AutoZone parking lot with my friend Aaron, and he had a taillight that it was acting up. So we was trying to fix this vehicle. We was me, putting the taillight socket in it, and it had a bad ground. I didn't know it. And I'm fighting it and fighting it, and I can't get it to work. I got new bulb, new taillight socket, still won't work. This guy stops over in the middle of the parking lot. He's come to the store to get something. He says, "What's the problem?" This is when I met him. And I said, "I'm having a problem with this taillight socket. I can't make this taillight work right." Don come over, jumped right in there with both hands and both feet, and found out it had a ground issue. He repaired it, fixed it for free, okay? And I've been friends with him ever since. And I found out a few years later that he is the lock doc and Amelia's son. The only reason I found that out was my son, and I had found this gentleman called the lock doc in Amelia, Ohio, and he was just the type of guy that everybody wanted to see. Really nice guy. You could go in there with something and he'd say, "Hey, you know what? You want a factory key?" And he'd pull out a factory key for it. I mean, he'd pull out a Honda key or, you know, something that was, you know, the manufacturer had, you know. And he would make you a duplicate. Here's some right here. A duplicate. There's a GM key right there. That's one of the keys he made for my son right there. Made many keys for my son, he did. My son loved him. His name was Dave. And there's another one. This key is a GM key. No, that one, yep. For General Motors cars. There it is. It says for General Motors cars. That one there looks really official. It's even got the motor division on it. GM right there. So, hope you guys can see that. I hope I'm getting that in there. So that's what kind of man his father was. Super nice guy. He would pull up something and just, you know, you'd just melt. You know, he'd pull something up that, you know, that would just melt your heart. And that's the kind of guy Don's dad was. Super nice guy. We loved him. We loved Dave. We just called him affectionately known as a lock doc. And then like I said, when I was in there getting some keys made, I noticed Don was in there, which is Rambo. And I didn't know the connection. I thought maybe Don worked for him. And this guy was, you know, so smart, the lock doc, that he had this gentleman working for him because he helped me out on the road. And I already knew he was, you know, an exquisite, you know, tech, at anything, you know, wiring, you know. I didn't know he was in the locks, but we learned and found out. So Don, thank you, Don, is my friend now. So Rambo to the rescue. Rambo fixed it. Amelia Locksmith, everybody. Number is 513-752-5222 for all your lockouts, all your keys made, all your problems with your ignition switch, your doors, your trunk. You name it, this guy can fix it. So back to earlier in the day yesterday, we got our motorhome home. We got our motorhome home. So we got our new motorhome at our old home. And there was a comment on the video yesterday. Looks like there was a raccoon in there. No, it was a man. That was a man that left that thing like that, not a raccoon. No animals were, you know, involved in the making or the breaking of this truck. As far as I know, there's never been any kind of raccoons or possums living in it. And you can go in there and see there's no feces, or it doesn't smell like, you know, like it's been pissed in, you know. It's nice, you know, as far as smell-wise. There's no smell. It's just a total disarray because there was a pig living in it, a two-legged one. So we got it here. We showed you yesterday. We dug into everything about it. We're going to have to pull the wrecker up a little bit, I think, maybe, or we're going to have to try to work on it like that because it's kind of close to the, you know, the back of the wrecker and the lip of the, you know, the bed, and of course the car hanging over, and this thing being so hangover itself, you know, hangover on the Dodge Sportsman is close. I mean, we're not, I backed up, and I'm lucky I didn't put that thing right through the windshield or whatever, you know, and then put the rollback bed right through the radiator. And oh God, it'd have been a night. I'd been crying if I'd done that. Luckily, I've been driving for a long time, so. And even though I'm hurt, you know, and my perception's off from this wreck I was involved in, I can still wheel pretty good. Yeah, I can still swing that wheel real good. Yeah. So we got this big gray cat. That's a stray that just showed up here one day, and No Name likes him. And last night, first time him and I bonded when Rambo was here. He came over and I got to pet him for the very first time last night. And then Don went to pet him, and of course I didn't realize Don had animal skills that he does. And at first the cat didn't want his advances. And then he seen that Don was, you know, a super nice guy that he is, and he was eating out of Don's hand. I told him, I said, take him home with you. He says, no, I can't. I got cats at home. I should have known. I should have known he was a cat person, but I didn't. And I found out a lot about my friend. We talked for a long while, you know, during and after the repair that he did on the van. And he walked right up and was able to pet him. Yeah, he's a big old head on this gray cat. Oh, he's a loving son of a... He first showed up here about a year ago with a collar. So he was somebody's cat that either they threw him out or, you know, dumped him off here. A lot of times animals are dumped here on the street, you know. This street is known for, well, a lot of things. But it's really known for that, where people come up and dump their animals. That's how I've gotten a couple of my animals. People, you know, discarded them here. And we love them. So now he's part of the family. You know, he's not accepted by the males here because he's a male. He's in competition with them. And he's not from the, you know, families here. He wasn't born here. So there's no, bloodline, you know, related to the other ones. So he's been going around making his, making himself known to all the females, and I've been getting a lot of kittens from this one cat. And I know there is kittens because, you know, the color and just the head of the kitten come out like this guy. This guy's a monster. Look at him. He's just beautiful. He's so sweet. I'm going to get some flea medicine out here for him. And some other ones I just so expensive for flea medicine. And we're going to, you know, give him some flea medicine, try to get rid of the fleas. She's got them. I know that she's loaded with them. They're all loaded with them. So I need to, you know, take a little bit more care with my animals. And I'm been kind of neglecting them. And, you know, it's not just my fault. It was the accident also caused me to, in the 3 months since this wreck, it's caused me to neglect a lot of things. And my son noticed it when I just sat there in the recliner just staring at the walls because I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I mean, I'm back now, okay, but I wasn't there then, you know. That wreck really hurt me. I mean, I had a serious concussion. And I was also, you know, obviously I was suffering from the concussion. And somebody said, oh, that concussion only lasts a week. Bull crap. Ask Dale Hunter Jr. about it. He was out for months when he had his wreck, and that's what basically forced him to retire, was a concussion in the last bad wreck he was in. So, you know, I know for a fact from watching his podcast, Dale Hunter Jr., that concussion really had some ramifications to it, and it was long lasting. It wasn't like a week, you know. And I've had people again say, oh, he didn't roll that truck 20 times. He would have been flying. He would have been doing this. Well, you know what? Let me reiterate. I don't know how many times I rolled. Seems like it was 20, okay? 10 to 20 times. Oh, there's that sweeper that Robbie gave me. I said I didn't know where it went. Well, I put it right there, obviously. Trying to figure out how to get this thing hung so I don't have to try to drag it and the keys. So there's a sweeper Robbie gave. He said he took it all apart and cleaned it. Oh, there's a big spider that came out of it. Yeah, spiders. Spiders! This is a spider nest haven here at Beamer & Son Garage. We got spiders everywhere. If you need some spiders, come on down. We got jumping spiders. We got black spiders. We got all kinds of spiders. So, if you need some spiders, you know, let me know. Hit me up. If you want a spider, I'll get you one. You know, I'll get you one I didn't step on, maybe. How'd that be? Or you want them squished, we can give you a squished one so you can dissect it like we did in, I think it was biology, yeah. It was biology. They would make you take a frog and split it open and take it all apart. And, ugh. We did it. Oh, wow. There she is again, milking that beautiful, beautiful kitten mascot. Yeah. See how long how close she'll let me get to her and the kitten. Beautiful. Nature at its finest, boys and girls. So that's not the big-headed cat. That's the female. I think. Nah, that might be the male. There's a male cat too. Yep. No, that's a female. I can't really tell. Acting like a male because female would have came right over to me. So he's way in the driveway, just sitting in the middle. So, like I said, you know, to sum this video up, guys, thanks for Rambo, thanks for Amelia Locksmith. Don't want to do without you. And we appreciate every one of our subscribers, all 1,706. We're up. We're pretty happy about it. And we're hoping to get more. So let people know about Beamer & Son Garage. Like, tag, share it with your friends. And we'll see you in the next one. Also, there's my friend Actions Auto Parts. Jamie Phillips, Actions Auto Parts. Check out his channel. Cool friend from Stanford, Kentucky, my buddy. And Scott's Beach Shop too. Jedediah. Check out them two channels. And let them know, you know. Leave them a comment, subscribe to them. Tell them, hey, Beamer & Son Garage sent me. And check out their channels if you haven't already. But definitely do. And like I said, you know, subscribe to us. Tell a buddy, tell a friend about Beamer & Son Garage. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Oh. They're both females. They're friends. They're females. Yeah, she's a female. No. That might be a male. Yeah, that's a male. Yeah, that's the male, I believe. She's a black male. See you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye. Here's our other motorhome. It runs and drives 350 Chevy.